All right, so you send this article my way, and wow, generative AI in management, huh? It really makes you wonder if it's about to completely change how we think about leadership.
Yeah, it's a total game changer, right? And the thing is, it's not just about like automating the easy stuff. This is about generative AI changing how managers work with their teams, how they make decisions. It's a whole different ballgame.
It's wild. This company, Haptic R&D Consulting, they're like the poster child for this new wave, at least according to this article.
They're really leading the charge. What they're doing with AI to make decisions, it's like they have a crystal ball, going from gut feelings and intuition to like data-driven certainty.
So no more trust your gut. It's all about trusting the algorithm.
I can see the appeal. But at the same time, isn't there a risk of just getting overwhelmed with information? For sure, but that's where the generative part of AI comes in. It's not just about accessing mountains of data, it's about using AI to make sense of it all, find those hidden patterns, and even suggest potential solutions.
Okay, so instead of drowning in data, you're saying AI throws you a life preserver made of, like, pure insight. But how does this actually work, like, in the real world? What's Haptic doing specifically?
Let's say they're developing a new product. Traditionally, you do your market research, scope out the competition, and then make your best guess about what features to prioritize, right? Now they can take all of that and a ton more and feed it into an AI system. And the AI can analyze customer trends, predict what people will want next, even simulate how different product features would perform.
Hold on, simulate. Are we talking about a business version of The Sims or something?
Kind of. It's like creating a virtual world where they can test different ideas and see how customers respond. It's like having a time machine for product development. You can actually see what works and make changes before you even build anything.
That's mind-blowing. So AI isn't just making decisions faster, it's making them bolder, too, because the risks are lower.
Exactly. And that leads us to a key part of Haptic's whole philosophy, their AOD framework. It stands for Automation, Optimization, and Development. It's how they're approaching management in the age of AI.
Okay, now I'm really interested. Let's break down this AOD thing, because I have a feeling this is where things get really juicy.
It is, let's start with automation, because that's what most people think of first. But this isn't just about, automating meeting invites.
Although, honestly, if AI could handle my inbox and calendar, I'd be thrilled. But I'm guessing we're talking about something a bit more high level.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine if AI could take over your entire project management workflow, assigning tasks, tracking deadlines, and even adjusting schedules based on what's actually happening, flagging potential problems before they become big issues.
So we're talking about freeing up managers from the nitty-gritty so they can actually, lead.
Mm.
Which I guess brings us to the next piece of this puzzle, optimization. What exactly is being optimized here?
Well, if automation is about like streamlining the tasks, optimization is all about understanding the people. Haptic is using AI to gather these really detailed insights into each team member, like their strengths, their weaknesses, their work style, even things like their preferences.
That's amazing. But also kind of creepy, right? I mean, how would you feel if your boss had access to that much information about you?
Yeah, it definitely brings up some big questions about data privacy and transparency in the workplace. But the way Haptic is approaching it, it's about using that information to create a more personalized, supportive environment for everyone.
So less big brother, more like, I don't know, a really perceptive mentor. Can you give me an example of how that plays out in a real situation?
Sure. Let's say you're managing a team and you have someone who's amazing at coming up with creative ideas, but they really struggle with deadlines. With this AI-powered insight, you might be able to see that they work best in short bursts, with time for reflection built in. So then you could adjust their schedule and projects to play to those strengths.
Instead of trying to force everyone into the same box, you're adjusting your approach to fit each individual. Genius. I bet this ties directly into the development aspect of AOD, right?
Exactly. It's about personalized development plans instead of those generic training programs that never seem to stick.
No more one-size-fits-all approach.
It
It's
is
about helping each person reach their full potential, which I imagine is super motivating for employees.
For sure. Can you imagine being told, hey, we've analyzed your skills and your performance, and we see this huge potential in you, and we're going to help you develop it?
About a winning strategy.
What?
But it makes you wonder, if this AI-powered approach really does become the new normal, what does it mean for leadership? Will the best managers be the ones who can code or the ones who can connect?
It's a big question. On the one hand, you definitely need managers who understand how to leverage AI and all these tools. But at the same time, you still need leaders who can inspire people, who can motivate them, who can guide them through like all the uncertainty that comes with constant change.
It's a weird balance, right? Like,
Yeah.
we need tech-savvy leaders, but they also need to be, like, people-savvy in this tech-driven world. It's a trip. But it gets me thinking, for those of us who aren't, gunning for the corner office, what do we need to do to not get left behind in this whole AI revolution?
That's the big question everyone's asking. And the good news is a lot of what's going to matter in an AI-powered world, those are the things AI can't do, those uniquely human
Okay,
skills.
now you've got my attention. Give me the rundown. What skills should I be adding to my resume right now?
Well, for starters, being able to think critically is more important than ever. AI can process all this information and spit out insights, but it still needs us humans to figure out what actually matters, what's ethical, what actually makes sense for our goals.
Right, because having a brilliant strategy means nothing if it's not the right strategy for you, your company, your values.
Exactly. And it's not just about being able to think critically about the information, but also about the data itself. You don't have to be a data scientist or anything, but you need to be data literate,
Ah.
understand how it's being used, how to interpret it, and how to spot any red flags or biases.
So more like data fluency rather than data mastery. Like being comfortable talking about data and using it to back up your ideas.
Yes. And that's where communication skills become so crucial, right? Being able to take something complex and make it clear, to connect the dots between the data and the human impact.
It's wild, right?
Right.
We always hear about how STEM is the future, but it sounds like the humanities are making a huge comeback.
Totally. Creativity, adaptability, emotional intelligence, all that stuff we can't program into a machine. That's what's going to set people apart.
It's like we're coming full circle. Technology might be changing how we work, but the why, the purpose, that human connection, that's all us.
I love that. AI might be reshaping the world of work, but it's our human abilities, our ability to learn, adapt, connect. That's what will ultimately determine our success.
Well said. I think we've given everyone a lot to think about today. It's a lot to process, but one thing's for sure, the future of work.
Yeah.
It's going to be anything but boring.
I agree. It's exciting, a future full of possibilities. And I, for one, am excited to see how we all rise to the challenge.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive. We'll be back next week with another fascinating topic. Until then, stay curious and keep those brains buzzing.